Hello everybody. So tonight I decided to do another Feral Friday, and my inspiration this time is the winter solstice. As you know, in South Africa we're a little bit other way around. So the longest night is coming up over the weekend, and I thought I would do a night sky dark inspired makeup look. It's something I wanted to try for a while. So the other thing that we are going to include is I'll put up in the inspiration up here. So let's get to it. I've got all of my dark purple blue makeup out in front of me. Got my base on, eyebrows done. We'll see if they last. So let's start by taping the face. So how straight this is going to be, I have no idea. We shall see. And hopefully it doesn't take off my eyebrows. We'll say that's roughly good enough. No one needs to see the bottom of my eyebrows. Now the question is this going to stick? Here's hoping. We'll clean up afterwards. So I always like the solstices and all these weird and wonderful kind of holidays. They're always a good excuse to do a weird makeup look. So this, for some reason, it always reminds me either of like Scandinavia, you know, the Northern Lights and the Vikings, and whenever we do, or I see an eye look that goes across the entire face like this, I always think of the Vikings, regardless of the colors. So I'm going to start with two products that I've got here. So these are the P. Louise eyeshadow bases I've got in white and in light blue. So I'm going to start the light blue on the outside where I'm going to put my darker colors, and then I'm going to put the white more in the center where I'm going to go lighter with the colors to start with, and then we'll take it from here. So this is the first time I'm actually trying a look like this in any way, shape or form. I think I saw it the first time on NikkieTutorials page when she did a rainbow, so this effect across the face like this. She did a rainbow look, and I still want to try that at some point, but I figured I will save that for when it's summer in South Africa or spring in South Africa. I generally tend to go for more, I want to say, lighter, prettier looks, just purely because me and my friend found out in a very strange way that apparently my face is not made for evil, and that upset me for a very long time. Doesn't mean I will not at some point try a villain look just for the hell of it. So I'm going to finish blending this with my eyes closed, and I will be right back. Right, so I'm back, and I had to definitely do a little bit of clean up on the bottom here. My beauty blender is slightly bigger than the area that I allowed for it. So, okay, so I've got a couple of things that I want to use. So I want to do it a bit of a shimmery one because night sky, I always think of stars. So I'm going to start with actually a gray base on the side, and then I'm going to put a metallic or a shimmer dark blue over the top, just to give it a little bit more depth, because I don't think I have a blue that is dark enough to really give you that midnight sky. So I'm going to start. I'm actually using another P. Louise palette, the Mystic Moonlight palette that I got in one of their budget boxes last year. Yeah. So no, this wasn't in a budget box. Yes, this was in one of the budget boxes. That's correct. So I'm going to start with Spell It Out from the Mystic Moonlight palette, and then just pat that in. I've got a big fluffy brush here, just to get that kind of base in before I go in with the blue, and then just blend that out so it doesn't get too dark and it doesn't leave any harsh lines. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Of course, I didn't bother to tap off the brush because I do want a bit of pigment on here, because this will also help set the liquid base that I've got underneath. So we'll just lightly start transitioning that out so it's not that obvious, and then go in a bit darker again towards the temple. And there we go. So we've got our base down. I have to admit this side looks slightly more blended, but that just could be maybe something's wrong with the side of my eye. Then I'm going to go in first of all, Hocus Focus. Hocus Focus is this beautiful black and blue shimmer. Can't really see it there, but it's quite dark. So I'm going to go in with that over the top. Can't really see the shimmer in this light. I'll do a proper close-up later with a brighter light so you can see the colors. So this is quite a deep shade, so it doesn't pull quite as purple, pulls more black on camera than it is. So I am going to definitely add some blue. So this is out of my Revolution Manifest palette. It's got a beautiful shimmery blue here that I'm going to use. I am using quite a variety of brands. I am a big fan of eyeshadow palettes. I think they are gorgeous. I think they are fun, and you can never seem to find the exact color combination in palettes. But that could also just be because I like quite a wide variety of colors. So I've got quite a few neutral palettes, and some of them are cool toned, some of them are warm toned. But then even with my colors, it's one of the reasons why I actually ended up getting the P. Louise budget box for a while, is so that I can get some of their big colorful palettes. So if I want to do an interesting look, then I quite like their shadows for that. They do actually deliver it to South Africa, so I tested that. So I first originally ordered their their advent calendar in 2024. And I was kind of surprised that they delivered to South Africa, because a lot of the time, as you know, out of Europe, we don't always have options. I do find that we're getting a lot more options these days when it comes to brands bringing in more makeup that advertise more. And it could also just be because our beauty industry is just becoming a little bit more known and seen. So I'm switching over to a purple now to transition into the lighter colors, and then I'm pretty much going to end with a very light purple pink. But I'm going to do I think the purple I'm going to put on the bottom here, and then at the top I'm going to do a pink just to get that, and then I'm going to take it across kind of this way, and then on this side we'll do the purple on top and the pink more towards the bottom. So that's basically the area that I want to put the purples in. And then I'll darken it up with the darker purple that I've got towards the side here, just to give that, I don't want to make it quite as obvious that there's just a line across the face. So I almost forgot that I had the towel there, thank goodness. And then I'm going to start with a very light pink, lay that down here, and then I'll darken that back into the blue as well. So this is also a Revolution palette. It's a purple and, Well, it's basically the purple palette, this one. Again, I bought this purely for the one purple. So what I'm looking for, so maybe you guys have an idea for me. I am looking for a proper lilac, cool toned lilac shadow in South Africa. I don't know if you have seen the viral Laviwinkle at one point. That is the color I'm looking for. If they ever get it back in stock, I think it's Half Magic that has the Laviwinkle liquid eyeshadow. If they ever get that back in stock again, I check every now and then, but to be fair, I don't check that regularly, so it is quite possible that they did have it in stock at one point and then it got sold out again, because it is quite a popular color. I think I saw it for the first time on Rose Siad's channel, the Color Theory Witch. She's one of the people who got me really interested in makeup, the technical side of it. So I've always enjoyed makeup, but she really got me interested in the, I want to say the technical side of makeup. So the color theory and how you can correct your various mistakes or your various shades. I am very guilty of buying my foundation online without having a clue whether or not it is actually going to match me. So I have a few foundations. I like trying them, but then they don't always match. So that is unfortunate, but I do love online shopping. I am very, very guilty of that. And that's what I enjoy, among other things, about makeup. The packaging, but also like just having a look around and seeing what everybody does, and then taking it from there and seeing what you can do with it. It's always interesting to see how creative people get. From your professional makeup artists who do beautiful makeup to even just someone like me playing around. Sometimes we do weirder and stranger and slightly more out there looks because, well, I'm not wearing this out in public. I can do whatever I want, which is kind of fun if you think about it. It's where you can be creative. Unfortunately, I do not have a particularly creative job. So my creativity definitely comes out in my makeup and other hobbies. Makeup is my first love, although I've never done like proper makeup tutorial or class. I still do want to. So I'm using a Sheglan palette just with slightly brighter colors here, just to give it a bit more pop. So I've been mixing this pink and this purple together to just kind of give it a bit more vavavoom, if you can put it like that. And then I need to blend this lot out. So I'm going to go back in to my blue here, and I've actually got a darker blue in this that I'm going to put on the edge. I'm just using the same brush over and over again, going into the darker colors, just to kind of give it time. Well, I say time. Okay, so I am going to finish this portion off and just blend this properly, try and get it symmetrical, and I will be right back, and then we can take off the tape and see how it looks. Okay guys, we're back, and here's where we got it to. So I used the lighter blue to transition the dark blue into the purple, and then from this side as well, the lighter blue into the dark blue, from the dark blue into the purple and the pink. You cannot see my lashes. Okay, so now it's time to take these off, see how much cleanup work there is to do, and then we are going to add some stars. And there's a couple of things that I'm thinking of using for it. So Don't know where to start. Let's see how this looks. Okay. I mean, it's not terrible for a first try. Actually, I'm quite happy with that for a first try. Now I need to actually just put my base back on that I took off. So give me a second. Let's just clean up under the eyes here and over the nose where everything was taken off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I used a little bit of a darker shadow just to outline on the top and bottom, just so that it's a little bit more defined in the middle, because with the shimmer it gets a little bit lost. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this palette. It's a eyeliner palette also from P. Louise that I got on their sale earlier in the year, and I'm going to actually use my setting spray, my Catrice setting spray, which I just put a little bit in the middle, and this is a liquid liner palette. So I am going to use these colors to do my stars, and then I'm going to put the shimmer over top. So instead of trying to remove the makeup in very tiny sections, I am instead going to use these colors to draw on the stars and moon, and let's see how that goes. Okay, yes, that's definitely pigmented enough. Don't know if my hands are steady enough for this. We'll make it work. Okay, that's a bit wonky. Let's do that. And let's play around with one of the purples as well. And see if we do little, well, I suppose the dot stars will have to be in the dark blue as well. So I also use this eyeliner palette to do my fairy look that I posted a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just using it's actually a nail brush, a dotting tool that I got in some random mystery box. So I'm actually using that because it's got a very fine brush, and I do like a fine brush. Okay, so I am going to finish this. Right, everybody, so here's the final look. I've got the mascara on, I've got my stars on. This is probably my favorite pigment. I'll do a close-up just now. It is from Carla Cosmetics in the UK. Waited years to get my hands on it, and then I decided to finish it off with a dark look, with a dark lip and a blue gloss. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any other makeup looks that you want me to try out or play around with, I am more than happy to, and I hope you have an awesome weekend.
Hey, your art deserves to be seen, so show it off.